Alright lads, so Bleach Soul Resistance is the newest Bleach game available right now. It of course is a free-to-play mobile game, so with that of course there is a gacha system. And as it is a new game, if you've not played similar games in the past, I do want to break down the gacha system so you know exactly how this banner system does work, what to expect in the future, and also how you should be handling the free summons that you do get, because one of the best parts about the release of Soul Resistance right now is the fact that you are getting 300 summon tickets over the course of your journey through the game's many systems. Just breaking them down individually, for starting the game, you do get 20 summon tickets on the default character banner. Over the next 14 days of logging in, you are going to get 10 summons on the weapon stamp banner, and then 15 for the character banner. Through the rookie trading system, we are going to get 10 of the weapon summons, 30 character summons. By clearing main story, you're getting 40 weapon summons and 80 character summons. And then through the trial awards, you are getting 40 weapon summons and 55 character summons. So plenty of summons are available in this game for you to get multiple chances as an SSR character, but also of course multiple guarantees, because the way this default banner does work is that when you first of course start the game, you are guaranteed one of the 6 available SSRs in this banner on your 5th multi. After that, it just becomes a permanent character banner where every 80 summons you are guaranteed an SSR. And this guaranteed summon system is very important because that's what you always want to be working towards. And is mainly due to the rate in this game. While not the worst, definitely not the best, but it is definitely taking very similar inspiration to many other gacha systems like Hoyoverse games, for example, which this game was inspired by. You'll see here that we do have a 0.8% chance to get an SSR, and this is valid for both the permanent banner and also the limited character banner. More on the limited character banner later in the video. But pretty much any silver ticket that you do get, you might as well just dump it into this banner and hope that you just get multiple SSR characters. And like we said in previous videos, we already have made a reroll guide and also a team guide that has been posted early today, going on the best character you should be going for if you're trying to make the best team possible for each individual teams. Quickly recapping that video, you do want to build mono teams if possible, and these characters do work together. So for example, Kaname works well with Ikaku, Yoruichi works well with Sajin, Kisuke works well with everyone, but also of course slash teams, which includes Byakuya. So while you can't choose straight away, you do want to try and build characters that work well together. Now the thing is, with this particular banner, if you do 300 summons, which for the most part shouldn't take that long. Normally this does take a few months on other gacha games, but since we are getting 200 free summons on this banner system, you know, that does pretty much get you most of the way there. When you do reach 300 summons on this particular banner, you do get to pick the character you want for free. Now hopefully by the point you do get to the 300 summon, you have collected most of the characters. Let's say 5 or 4, and by that point you're just going to pick the best character you are missing. Like I said, if you have Kaname and you're trying to build a Frost focused team and you get to the 300 summon and you already have Kisuke in particular, well then you want to pick up Ikaku. If you're trying to build, again, a slash focus team, you have Kisuke already, you want to pick Byakuya on that 300 summon. If for some reason you do go to the 300 summon, and no matter what situation, if you're missing Kisuke, definitely pick him up. So that's by far the best character to pick here. And then I guess if you are trying to use Yoruichi, she is a popular character. I know a lot of people like her. Personally, I do fortunately own her now. If I was on the 300 summon and I already had Kisuke, I would then pick up Sajin because he's a good support for a character like Yoruichi. Now the thing is, we are also in a situation where we have access to a standard banner, a select gacha. So this basically lets you pick any of these characters here and guarantees them in 80. So this is actually a really good system to pretty much guarantee, again, the best character in the game, the best support in the game, that being Kisuke, pretty early on. So the big question with the default banner is, when should you be going for Kisuke? Now, if you are desperate and you want to rush and get Kisuke straight away, I guess you could use this right now. Keep in mind, any summon spent on this particular banner does build up pity on this banner right here. So while if you select Kisuke, you can only get Kisuke, it will be working towards building up the 300 number, so keep that in mind. So if you're very eager to get your potential favorite character, remember it is a PvE game, it's a story mode game too. Ultimately, every character is viable. You don't need to min-max everything. But I'm personally saving this recruitment system for Kisuke in the chance I don't get him in the next set of summons. I'm ultimately playing the long game, so I do want to collect all 6 base SSRs. So right now, my personal plan is really to only use this selector banner when I have 5 of the 6 characters available, or at least 4 of them. So again, examples, right? I already have access to Kaname, I have access to Yoruichi. If I potentially continue summoning on the main banner and pick up Ikaku and Byakuya, well, I don't really care that much about Sajin, and Kisuke will be the character I select on this particular selection. So ultimately, when should you summon on this? summon on it now if you're very eager to get your favorite character. I recommend picking Kisuke because he is the best support character that is literally used in every team. But there is no harm in saving this potential banner to use later on. Maybe you want to do a few pities, get 3 or 4 SSRs before you make your way to 300, and then just use the rest of the summons on this. That's how you should use the default banner. When it comes to the weapon stamp banner, you are guaranteed a exclusive weapon stamp on the 4th multi, 40th summon. I recommend simply just picking the weapon stamp for your favorite character. Like again, I don't want to keep glazing Kisuke here, but I'm saving my summons right now because I actually can pity. I can do 40 steps to pretty much guaranteed Yoruichi's weapon stamp or Kaname's weapon stamp, which of course are both good for those characters, but I'm not really using them right now. I'm fine just using Bankai Ichigo. So personally, I'm saving my summons for Kisuke because his weapon stamp is really good as it does offer him an additional 30% attack boost for the entire team, giving you 60% attack for everyone, which is really powerful. They're all powerful, but Kisuke's, given his usability and viability in every basically situation, I'm saving my summons for when I eventually get Kisuke, but ultimately with the weapon stamp system, just pick whatever character you want to get the weapon stamp for. Now, when it comes to the main banner system, right? Especially regarding the limited characters, this one's important because limited characters are pretty much going to be most, if not every character going forward into the future. Once more, if you played games like Genshin, Withering Waves, Star Rail, they do 99% of the time release limited characters. Every character is pretty much limited besides any potential new SR that might release. Now, there will eventually, maybe be times, hopefully with this game too, where they will release a character that will just eventually go straight into the standard banner. Those are kind of rare though, and maybe if this game is a year from now, they might turn a character like Ichigo into a standard character. But that's just more so me speculating based on past games that this game has taken inspiration from. But right now, since this banner is limited, Ichigo is gone in 2 weeks. Once this banner is gone, Ichigo is gone. Not for good, but we don't know how long it will take for this character to return. He will return, that's a given, but it could be a few months from now, which is why I did recommend summoning for Ichigo, especially if you are re-rolling, because it saves you the need of going to 80 summons on this banner where you can guarantee him. Once more, going back into the rate, especially on the limited banners, there is no 50-50 summon system in this game. If you get an SSR on the Ichigo banner, it is guaranteed to be Ichigo, which is really good in my opinion. So that allows you to plan accordingly, and going forward into the future with future limited characters, you really should only be summoning if you can go to pity. That's how I personally have played past games like Withering Waves, how I still play it actually, and past games like Genshin and also Star Rail when I did play those. Given the fact that the rates are relatively low, 0.8%, you don't want to spend on a banner where you aren't guaranteed the character, because that leads to disappointment. I mean, there will be situations where you get lucky and get the character early, which is great, but if you are looking forward to a character like Kenpachi, Aizen, for example, Grimmjow, when we eventually get into the Aranka arc, you know, you want to make sure you have at least enough to do 80 summons to guarantee him when he does release, and then an extra 40 to guarantee the weapon. Every character, in my opinion, the way I want to play these games is, if I'm pulling for a character, I'm only summoning when I have enough to summon for that character and also weapon. And that's how I play those other games too, like Withering Waves. Now, one point that's also worth mentioning is that you should never be using gems, your spiritual jades, to transfer into silver tickets. These tickets are going to be available, like right now you can get upwards to 200 throughout the entire game. And as we go by month to month, when every time we get an event, every time we get a new update, a new patch, a new character, we're always going to be getting these particular tickets. So right now, even if you're potentially one single away from doing a multi that might guarantee you an SSR, never spend spiritual jades on the silver tickets. Your spiritual jades should only ever be spent on summon tickets, the golden summon tickets. Now, only do that when you're actively summoning. Don't go ahead and transfer all your spiritual jades into like 80 golden summon tickets if you have that much, because you also, again, do want to buy the summon tickets for the weapon banner. The way these games should be working, and I don't think this game will be any different, is that you're not going to get that many golden tickets unless you are actively spending money. You're going to get around maybe 10 to 20 per update every time a new character does drop, but most of the way you are going to get summons for banners like this is through your spiritual jades. And again, you just convert those jades into summon tickets. But one good thing to know with this particular summon system is that the pity does carry over. So right now, for example, I did do a multi when I was re-rolling for Ichigo, and I got Ichigo on the 3rd pull. Despite me doing a multi, he was on the 3rd pull, so with that I have 7 out of 80, so I'm already technically building up the pity system for the next character, because it does carry over. Just to confirm that, in case anyone is, speculating that that won't be the case, all limited character pools share the SSR guarantee system, and guarantee attempts are tracked across all limited character pools and only reset when an SSR character is obtained. So I'm basically saving this pity, just 7 out of 80, for the next limited character. But what is the next limited character? Well, we have been able to play the beta over the last 2 or so years, and we do know that there are characters available in those past betas that will be coming out eventually in the future. So if we go to the event section and go down to the event calendar, we already have confirmation of the next available SSR, which will be Bankai Toshiro. So if you have already pulled Ichigo and his weapon stamp, you should now be saving all your golden tickets and spirit jades for the next limited character, in this case Toshiro. He will be releasing in 2 weeks time, December 5th, and while it's not shown here, he should also release with an SR Momo. He is going to be a pretty good character, because the special part about Toshiro is that he is a SSR spirit type character. Now in the game, if we again go back to the limited pool, we have Kaname and also Ikaku for yellow/frost teams. We have Ichigo, Kisuke, and Byakuya for slash type teams, red teams. And then we also have Yoruichi and Sajin for orange/strike teams. When it comes to blue characters, spirit type characters, they're basically non-existent. They are Rukia, who is a tactic unit. We have Ururu, who is a full assault unit, but she is an SR. And we also have Orihime, a SR support. So right now, blue characters are just very lacking. They don't have access to a good character. So any potential future spirit type content is going to, really want Toshiro on your account. He's an overall good character, fun character too. So that is what the next banner is going to offer, and why you might be inclined to summon for him in case you already have Ichigo. Of course, you can summon duplicates in this game. I don't really recommend it. I personally prefer to have new characters over duplicates of already good characters. So that's why, even though I have Ichigo, I'm not summoning anymore. I'm currently saving for the next banner, which is Toshiro. Now, once Toshiro does arrive, he again will be here for 2 weeks. It does seem like the banners rotate on a 2-week period. And the big question now is going to be what characters after Toshiro. Well, we don't know for certain, but we do know that there are 2 characters that already exist in the game. One has already been playable in the past, that being Kenpachi. Now, Kenpachi is a really good character. There is a chance they do change him based off his beta appearance, but he was a really fun unit. And we can't say for certain what he is going to, be like in-game. But just based off the beta, he was a slash type character. So right now, one of the go-to teams people are trying to build, as it is recommended, it is the best team in the game, is a slash focused team. And again, you do that with Ichigo, and then you have Kisuke and Byakuya to back it up. So if you do like Kenpachi, it's more reason right now to potentially pick up Kisuke and Byakuya, so when that character does release, you have the best team for him. Because Kenpachi, as far as I recall, was a full assault unit, very similar to Ichigo, is a DPS monster for the slash team. It also does mean that if you have Ichigo, for example, you might not need Kenpachi from a meta standpoint, because they're going to both fulfill the same roles, a DPS in a slash focused team. So with that in mind, maybe you're more inclined to summon for Toshiro, because he's going to open up a whole new team. I would like to say long term, you do want to try and build a team in every attribute. That way, if there is future content that strictly wants yellow characters, orange characters, blue characters, you have that team ready. And that's why I'm kind of fortunate right now. While it's not ideal in this current situation, I do have access to 3 good characters in different attributes. I have Yoruichi for strike teams, I have Kaname for frost teams, and I have Ichigo for slash teams. When Toshiro releases, I plan to summon for him, and I pretty much have a good character in every single typing. Now, other than Kenpachi, we also do know that Gin is planned to come into the game. He could be after Toshiro. He could be after Kenpachi. Maybe another character is going to replace them. We don't know the exact order other than Toshiro is next. But we can see that Gin and also Rangiku are planned to come into the game. And what we can see right now, without knowing anything about their kit, they are frost type units. So once more, right, if you are a Gin fan and you want to summon for Gin, maybe it's important to have Kaname right now, because Kaname is the tactic unit for the frost type teams. And by having this character in the team, you are getting 30% more frost damage. There is a potential chance that Gin or Rangiku could also be a tactic unit, and therefore, give you less need for a character like Kaname, but, it doesn't hurt to plan in advance. If you are a Gin fan, right now is a good time to have Kaname in case they do work together. It wouldn't surprise me. And in a way, that can be said about Ikaku as well. Maybe the future best frost team is going to be Ikaku, Kaname, and also Gin. Maybe the best slash team in the future will be Kisuke, Byakuya, and Kenpachi. And then the best spirit team in the future, we really don't know. All we know is that it is going to contain Toshiro. So that's pretty much the banner system breakdown. Just key important notes to keep in mind. Quick recap. Pity does transfer between limited banners. These characters are limited, so once this banner does leave, we have no idea where Ichigo is going to return. He will return, but it could be a few months from now. In my opinion, the best way to go about these games is to always save until you can hit pity, including the weapon stamp. Ideally, you want to get both the character and the stamp. So I only ever pull or plan to pull when I can guarantee both of them. If you do summon on a new character and don't get them, it's fine because, again, you are building up the pity for the next limited character. In terms of new characters coming out that we know are confirmed, it's Toshiro, Kenpachi, and Gin. Toshiro is next, but we don't know who's going to come after him. It could be Gin, it could be Kenpachi, it could be a character we don't even know of. And when it comes to the default banner, I would say only use the select banner when you're desperate for a character really quick. I would say Kisuke is the best character for that, because he does fit in every single team and makes every team better. But if you are playing the long game, maybe only use this particular select gacha when you do have 4 or 5 of the default characters. That way you can collect them all. Because in a way, one negative about rushing this particular banner is that I could get Kisuke right now, hypothetically, and then I could get in my next guarantee, where I could have then used that select banner for Byakuya. So in a way, this particular select banner does gain more value the longer you hold on to it. Either way, hope you lads enjoyed the video. Let me know what character you're excited about in the future. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.